Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, we're glad you're here too. Today we're going to be making some Mexican style stuffed peppers. These peppers are loaded with flavor. Alright, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let's get started.
Okay, so let's start by going over our ingredients. We have our 6 bell peppers. This is 2 pounds of ground beef chuck. This is 80/20. We have some 100% pork chorizo. This is about 7 ounces of green chilies divided. A yellow onion. And we're going to be using 2 taco seasoning packs because we're using 2 pounds of ground beef. About 4 ounces of taco sauce. And we're going to be shredding our own cheese today. And we're going to use pepper jack, mild cheddar, and this is some Mexican style melting cheese. Alright, and as always, the ingredients will be listed down below in the description with their exact measurements. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and let's get started with the recipe. Okay, so I'm going to start by shredding our cheeses. There's really no measurements, like exact measurements when it comes to these cheeses because it's just preference. So if you want to use just cheddar, use as much as you want, and that would change the measurements. So you'll just see, when we get to building the peppers, what I mean by that. So we're just going to list the cheeses that we used below, not necessarily how much we used of each cheese.
Yeah, you get to see that. Y'all, and look how close she is on this shredder. She makes me so nervous, and she's always like, Mom, I got it, I'm being careful. But me as a mom, I'm always scared she's going to cut herself because I just cut myself on it recently. So if you guys are using this kind of shredder, please be careful and get something to protect your hands. And that's what we're going to do because I just can't take it. Just look. And she's just going. And actually it's sped up, so it does look a lot worse. Right. But still, just be careful.
I was going slow, I promise.
Just be careful, y'all.
So now we're going to move on to hollowing out our peppers. When you cut these peppers, well, first of all, when you select your peppers at the store, you want to make sure it has, 4 little notches on the bottom, I guess.
Yeah, that does help them to stand up straight.
Yeah, you want them to stand up straight on their own. As you can see, the peppers that are on the sides of the cutting board, they're all standing up straight. They're not leaning or anything. And that'll help, when you're putting it in your pan. We used a pie dish, so they all were kind of tight together. So if you get one that's not, you just can't find one with 4 bottoms, then you can cheat and use the pan and the other peppers to help them stand up straight. But
right.
All I'm doing is cutting the top off as straight as possible, and then I'm running my knife around the inside and getting, the veins. I just feel like it's easier to pull them out later once, they've been cut a little bit already. And if you don't cut it perfectly straight, you can just go back and just trim a little bit off on the side so you can have a flat top to your pepper, because it'll make, so your pepper won't be lopsided or anything. It'll just look pretty presentation-wise.
And you can also use different peppers if you don't like the different color peppers, or you just want to use all green peppers. You can do that. It's just a matter of preference, whatever you want to use.
Yeah, and the peppers, I'm not sure if everyone knows this, but the different colors have different flavors. Like, I'm not a big fan of the orange pepper.
And I love the orange pepper.
Right. And the red pepper, after, it's cooked or whatever, it's kind of has a sweet taste to it.
It does. It really does.
But I'm just dicing my onion here. Just slice it all the way through, all the way down, and then turn it and do the exact same thing. And then you'll have, diced onions. So that's why this is kind of sped up, because I'm sure everybody has diced an onion before. But if not, this is how you do it.
And now, she took the liberty, which was great, of using a little method that I use when she's cutting our onions to, when we cut our onions. We actually have a little bit of water next to us, and then as we're cutting, We just kind of dip it in the cold water, and she didn't cry this time.
Yes, I usually, when I cut red onions, I don't cry, but yellow onions, I cry every single time.
But not today.
Right. So I'm preheating my oven to 350, and I'm gonna spray just a little bit of olive oil in these pans. And these pans that we're using, actually, we're not supposed to use spray that has aerosol in it. So that was just, just regular olive oil. It just happened to be in a can. We've used that oil several times on this channel, so.
I love that. That spray is really nice.
Yes.
And this is chorizo. We didn't use all of this either.
No.
We just used 2 rolls of it, actually.
Yes. So it's a 12-ounce package that has 3 rolls in it. So one would assume each roll is 4 ounces. So.
And it cooks down to about 2 ounces per roll.
Yeah.
And you can totally eliminate this.
Yes, this is optional, definitely.
Yes, definitely optional. So we just decided to try this for this particular recipe, but you don't have to try it if you don't want to. So
yeah, so once you get the chorizo in the pan, you pour your onions in pretty much right away. I just chopped up the meat a little bit to get it out of that awkward shape. And then I'm just tossing it around, and then you just let it cook.
Because the chorizo is not cooked. It's not done. It looks like it could be, but you actually have to cook it. Yeah. So, yeah. And these onions are cut pretty large, which is fine. That's the way we like ours. Of course, you can cut them a lot smaller if you want. That's fine. Or no onions at all. We always tell people, be free with what you use in your recipes. You don't have to do it exactly the way we're doing it. So I'm just adding a little bit of garlic powder and onion powder. I didn't add any salt because there's actually salt in the chorizo and the
seasoning packet.
The seasoning packet, right?
Yeah.
So, and this is just, you can be liberal with that. So,
right. And we use, like we said, we use 2 pounds of ground beef. If you're going to use the chorizo, you definitely don't have to use 2 pounds of ground beef. 1 pound and the I'd say around 8 ounces of chorizo would be plenty of meat, but we like to have extra for other videos or other recipes you might be making later in the week. So
yeah, we do that a lot. If you're new to our channel, you're just learning, but those that have been watching us, they know that we like to cook. Sometimes we cook more than we need, and then we freeze it.
Yeah.
Or if we're going to a family function, we'll cook some and then we'll take it to a function or something like that. So
into our preheated 350 degree oven, we put in our peppers. Now it's essentially like parboiling potatoes. If you're gonna bake them, you just want to cook them a little bit before you stuff them so that they won't be crunchy when you take them out at the very end. But if you like a bite to your peppers, you can totally skip that step and then just stuff your raw peppers.
And here she's preparing to drain her chorizo. So it's rendering some oil, so we're just going to drain that off and get our green chilies.
Yeah, and our taco sauce. Like I said at the beginning, it was about 4 ounces of the taco sauce, but I only put maybe a tablespoon or so of it into the chorizo, and I'm also going to do the same for the my mom actually is going to do the same for the ground beef. But also, I forgot to mention that if you aren't going to use the chorizo, I do suggest using 2 pounds of ground beef, because you probably won't have enough meat to stuff all of your peppers. Yeah,
there's less chorizo than it is the ground beef for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah. So these peppers, like I said, they're loaded with flavor. This was excellent. They taste really good.
And we use medium chilies. You don't have to use medium. You can use the hotter ones if you'd like as well.
So here I'm almost done with my ground beef. I'm going to go ahead and drain this, and then I'm going to actually add some seasoning packets to it and green chilies and taco sauce. So this is very quick. It's going to take about maybe 5 minutes to go ahead and get that done. And see, I just drained it, and now I'm going to add the rest of my ingredients.
And you could also use like enchilada sauce if you want to. You might even be able to use some salsa. That might be good too. But we just use taco sauce because we like the Taco Bell taco sauce. It's really good. We like the hot one, but
yeah.
we didn't want it to be too hot because the chorizo does kind of have a kick to it. So,
and you can actually make your own taco sauce too. I know when my husband and I make chili, we do that. We will make our own kind of seasoning to season our ground beef.
mm-hmm.
So it's a matter of preference.
Yes.
So as you can see, everything is pretty much coated, and we're just going to get the rest of everything in there. So.
Yeah, so we, like I said, it was a 7-ounce can of those chilies, and we used about half in each type of meat.
That's my taco sauce going in. And this is really a nice recipe, and that's why we were saying we love working together in the kitchen, because it's like a partnership. I can do one part and she can do the other. Mm-hmm. So we just have a lot of fun in the kitchen. We experiment a lot too. We'll just say, hey, let's add this, or let's do it differently, So, mm-hmm. And we like to put our spin on different recipes.
And it helps you get done faster too when you have help in the kitchen.
Exactly. So, yeah, we really had a good time. We like to laugh and joke and have a good time. When we're cooking, so you'll notice that about us.
Yeah,
we like to have fun. So, thumbs up.
So at this point, everything is done, and we can start building our peppers. We got our chorizo, looks delicious, and our ground beef, and then our other cheeses, and our peppers. This is what they look like after those 10 minutes in the oven. You can see it's charred just a little bit. They had just started, getting some cooking going, so
they were perfect.
They were
perfect texture.
Mm-hmm. So. Like I said, if you want more of a bite and you don't want it to be soft, they'll still hold their shape when they come out of the oven. They won't be like slumped over or anything.
Mm-hmm.
You can skip the step of
pre-cooking
them, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just no particular fashion or order. We wanted to do it this way. So we put cheese at the bottom, then we put chorizo, then more cheese, and then we're going to do ground beef.
Mm-hmm. And this is what she was talking about. If you have, there's no set amount. So if you didn't want this much cheese, don't put as much, or put more,
mm-hmm.
or whatever. So it's a matter for everything. The chorizo, the beef, and the cheese. Just use as much or as little as you'd like.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I would suggest, another thing you don't have to do, I would suggest filling your peppers all the way to the top if you don't want them to kind of sink while they're cooking, because that cheese that you put in there is going to melt. So
mm-hmm.
your meat will weigh down and kind of sink down into the pepper, which,
mm-hmm.
if that's okay with you, then
mm-hmm.
by all means, hit it.
Right. There's a lot of peppers, you see them and they are like that. So mm-hmm. it's just a matter of preference, really. We just like a lot of cheese, and so you'll see ours all on top. You'll just see cheese.
Yeah.
But some peppers you'll see you can see the meat coming through, and they use less cheese. So, but it's just a matter of whatever you want to do.
And I've even seen some without cheese too. So
right.
Either way, your preference. It's one of those fun recipes you could do. Mm-hmm. Whatever you like, and it'll still be delicious.
And you can add rice, or I know a lot of people add rice to their peppers.
Yeah.
Their stuffed peppers. I just don't try not to eat a lot of rice. I don't really like it in my peppers that much. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. I love rice, but just not in my peppers. Let me just clarify that.
Yes. She loves rice.
Yes, okay? I do. But I don't need to eat it as much as I like to eat it.
So our new seasoning jars are right here. They're making their first appearance on the channel. Well,
right.
Second.
Right,
their first debut of seasoning stuff.
Right. So we have a video. You might want to go check that video out.
Right. So we just sprinkled some parsley flakes on top. And we put them in the oven, and we cooked them for about 35 to 40 minutes. And this was at the halfway mark.
Mm-hmm.
And you can take them out here if you want to, but we wanted our cheese just a little bit more brown than that. So,
mm-hmm.
And this is what they look like after the remainder of the time.
About 40 minutes total.
Mm-hmm. So
they came out really, really nice.
They did. They look delicious.
So full of flavor. These were delicious, y'all.
If you like cheese. Real. You will love this recipe, and if you like Mexican food, you'll probably enjoy this recipe. And you can see our sour cream on the side.
So good, y'all gotta try this.
Please.
For real. And you can even use beef chorizo. That's good too.
Mm-hmm.
So just try it and let us know how you like it. Or if you had this and you didn't use rice and you used something else, please let us know.
Yes.
All right, guys.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And we'll see you guys in the next video.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.